What's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenville. I am super excited here to basically be interviewing a celebrity here, Dr. Stephen Shao, senior expert in 3D printing. Steve, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for the invitation. Excited to be here.
I forgot to say international speaker as well, because you were speaking in Japan not too long ago, right?
Yes. That was a very interesting experience. Loved it. Loved it over there.
So I want to ask you this again. A lot of times people think of 3D printing as something that's like just so technical. The technology is so far out there, so far advanced. But for those who are listening right now who are like wondering about that, is that something that they should be intimidated by? Is that something that they should say like, hey, that's only for experts like Dr. Shao and all these other people? Or the normal dentists, can they adopt that in their practice?
Well, the way I see it is that we can look at 3D printing technology and, in general, the digital workflow technology in different ways. So, coming out of dental school, most of us that graduated decades ago, we're not taught a spread of information on digital technology, CAD design, CBCT. Most of us learned that after we graduated from school. So I got two daughters, and they're 10 and 12 years old right now. Both my daughter can operate my 3D ecosystem perfectly at home. So they design their own magnet. We use that for their school project ever since they were in third grade. I have a fleet of about 13 3D printers in my house, in my office right now. So if I were to just give them a lot of time and ask them to print something, they can operate that automatically. I don't think it's a very difficult technology. However, it is a completely different type of technology that most dentists are not trained in. So most analog dentists will think of digital technology as something that is vastly difficult. It's not difficult. It's different. And the way that I always approach dental education in terms of 3D printing, don't talk about how to 3D print a crown. Don't talk about how to do a liner. Talk about the concept that if you have a magic device that will allow you to make anything, what would you make? Now, let's not start by doing work. So if you just watch a movie you like doing, I like the helicopter in there, and I want to print that. How do I download this file? How do I create that into a realistic version of the model and stop buying the toy? Now, most people will be a lot more passionate about working on something that they like.
Yeah.
That facilitates the process of actually wanting to learn how to do it. If we're thinking about how do I add another piece of equipment to my office to make my life even more complicated, then it's just work. And for me, adaptation of new technology cannot just be about work. So when we get a new iPhone, whenever there's a new piece of technology, we get to test that with the autopilot. If it's just for work, it's not gonna function. The mindset has to be, I want to do this. And the way that we achieve that is by saying 3D printing technology is not a dental technology. It's an engineering technology that allows you to fabricate just about anything. So now, if you can make anything, do you really want to go to your office 5 o'clock in the evening to make a 3-unit bridge or a partial denture? Or your kid's birthday's coming out and they have their favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
And every year I print a cake topper for my kids. That empowers me to want to learn how to do something better outside of dentistry. Now, if you approach it from that perspective, then no. 3D printing is extremely easy. And 3D printing isn't just there to help you grow your business as a dentist. It helps you become a better father, a better teacher. It helps you communicate better. So right now I'm involved in all kinds of other extracurricular activity. So I got a job offer from Mattel to design Hot Wheels. I work with architecture. I work with aerospace company, and I work with all these other different industry. I work with architects to design my future office, 3D print the whole entire blueprint. Not because I have to, not because it makes me money, because primarily I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you love something, you always want to learn more about it because it's more fun. If it's only about work, then how many dentists have all the time in the world to say that, hey, I would love to do more work in my office for a little more pay. Right? Okay, we can just open Saturday and Sunday to do that. But no, this is not about more work. This is not about, growing my practice so I can make more money. This is fundamentally about the quest that if you have time and money and you have financial freedom and you have this capability of being able to make anything, now I can give you that capability. Do you really want to just do dental, or do you want to treat dental 3D printing technology or 3D printing technology in general as new capability, as new hobby? So that's why I love it so much.
Man, I'm sold, man. I mean, I need to talk to, later on, we're going to have Larry Huynh from US Dental on here. And I'm going to tell him, hey, dude, I got to sign up and buy a 3D printer. This dude has sold me here. But I love the fact that you took that approach. And I've never heard that before. A lot of times people think about, they buy new equipment, CBCT, intraoral scanner, and they're thinking, okay, I need to do this because somehow I want to get it. It costs me a lot. I'm going to try to get my ROI back. That's what everyone always focuses on. But I like your approach there. Like, look, the ROI is not just in the dollars and cents. It's also improving your life as well. Right. And again, I love that angle that you took there because there's so much more you can do in 3D printing. Now let's talk about, let's switch gears a little bit and we'll talk about the dental. We got a denture here. We got all these things here. Talk about some of the things in dental that, people are thinking 3D printer. Are you 3D printing some like occlusal guards or whatnot? Talk about all the things that you can do with the 3D printer in dental. We already established you can get some Pokemon. My son, when he watches this, he's going to be excited. He's like, talk to Dr. Shao, get him to print me out a Charmander later on. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
But let's talk about dental aspects, right? What are some of the things that a lot of people don't realize they can use in dental when it comes to 3D printing?
So I don't want to keep you here for 8 hours. So I'll try to keep it brief. So essentially, when you have dental equipment, and specific dental equipment have specific purposes. So when we have a CNC milling machine, you can mill veneers, crowns, inlay, onlay. Pretty much it's the same thing. We have ceramic restoration that can be milled, and some of them can mill titanium. Now, a 3D printer like this can print just about anything, everything that you want. So for example, my brother was opening up a new practice, and he asked me about isolite. He said, well, do you recommend isolite? I said, sure. How many do you need? He goes, I was looking for 6. I told him, give me a few days. Let me see if I can just print the whole entire isolated adapter for you. And then it took a few variations, and I sent him a box of 20 of them. It cost me about $5.50 to use. We can print all of that. You can invent crazy things in dentistry. If you ever thought, okay, I'm doing endo today, and the endo cassette or this holder is not to the exact shape that I like, I would like to rapid prototype something. You can use your printer for that. But at the very basic level, if I have an intraoral scanner like a Trios over here, can I print a model? Yes, you can. Now, can I print a night guard? You can do that. Denture? Sure. Surgical guide for every single implant case in the office? Yes. If you want to do aligner therapy, orthodontic aligner therapy in your office, can you print a model to do the thermoform? Sure. We've been doing that. We've been doing that since 2017. I haven't sent one single case out to Invisalign. As such, what happened is our cost of orthodontic aligner dropped by about $1,500. Consequently, I dropped my aligner pricing $1,500 for my patient, and the end result, because of supply and demand, our aligner volume in my office grew about 4 to 5 folds. So I don't make any more money per aligner case, but I'm doing 5 times as many cases. So overall, the business is doing great.
Helping more people.
Helping more. But the key to all of this is people say, well, but you do all that. How about your clinical practice? How busy do you get? And I tell them, well, I actually don't do any of it. So I have specially trained dental auxiliary. I call her my design fabrication specialist, Maggie. She handles about 90 to 95% of all digital workflow, which means if I sit a patient down and I said, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, have you ever had ortho done? It looks like your anterior incisor are rotating a little bit. Now, we can try to put a retainer or we can try to bring it back. Would you be interested in that if we can give you a reasonable quote? And once the patient says yes, I walk away. My job is pretty much done. I will check on the computer to make sure the aligner orthodontic movement is proper. She does the design, she does the scanning, she does the printing, she does the orthodontic aligner tray fabrication. She does the initial delivery. I just come in looking like a hero. So will I want to do more of that? I would love to do more of that. And I think 3D printing, once it's properly delegated, allows wet-handed dentists to become more like a managing partner in a practice. Instead of managing another wet-handed dentist, I manage my dental auxiliary to perform 80-90% of the work. While I just come in here like a hero. I know this crown and bridge is going to fit perfectly. I know the denture is going to fit perfectly because it's already been tried and true. The entire digital workflow is extremely replicable, which means today if I deliver this to my patient, and how often do we have a patient come in and go, well, my denture broke in half. I left it in the napkin. My dog chewed it. Now we have to make a new one. But the new one never fits as well as the old one. Yeah. Well, with digital 3D printing technology, digital design technology, I can fabricate you the exact same crown. I can fabricate the exact same denture and partial denture. They'll always fit perfect. In fact, when you do a digital denture with me, I'm just going to give you 2. If you lose one, call me. I'll make you another one. If you like it and we like each other, I'll give you a new set of denture every 2 years at no cost. Because how much does it cost to actually fabricate one of those in terms of material? It's $12 to $15.
Yeah. Wow.
It's absurd. How much does it cost us in terms of the material to do an aligner case, including the software and design for the patient? It's about $300. And when you have that type of efficiency improvement, when you have that type of a cost value proposition, it changes everything.
Yeah.
We're not doing things in-house and sending out to a laboratory. From the day that we met the patient, in terms of the case presentation, in terms of the communication, in terms of a proposal for treatment plan, everything changes. So oftentimes I have new user ask me, or a dentist who's not yet digital, they ask me, well, does 3D printing technology really work for your dental practice? Do we think we can incorporate it? Well, my answer is always, at this point in time in my career, it is impossible for anyone to convince me that digital technology does not work in a dental office. I don't know how I would operate my practice without these technologies.
Yeah.
CNC mill, intraoral scanner, CBCT, 3D printer. I need it now. The human nature is such that if you give people something that is highly efficient, it is very difficult to take it away from them. Now that we know we can text message someone, who wants to sit down and write a letter, put a stamp on it, and go drop it out of the mailbox, and 3 days later, hopefully they'll reply.
Right.
If you go back in time 100 years ago, everyone would write a letter. That's not a problem at all. If we have to do it, we consider it torture. If I can get nearly every dental practice in my office done the same appointment within 2 to 3 hours, and I had to go back to sending things down to the laboratory and spend an hour on the phone talking to the laboratory technician on why the shade doesn't match and the crown doesn't fit, I'll probably quit. So at this point, I'm dependent on the technology for my happiness and my enjoyment in practice.
Yeah, I love that. Look, first of all, I have to say this. We definitely need to bring you back on for sure, because, I mean, this is not enough time to have you on a podcast here. But before I let you go, I do want to give a shout out to Larry and the U.S. Dental team. Let me ask you this. What do you like most about working with them?
So when I first started my in dental 3D printing, and we go around and there are big dealerships like Patterson and Harry Shine, to name a few. It's very difficult for us, like a newcomer, to get into the lecturing circuit. You have the same people that are lecturing in all the different places that occupy the whole entire spectrum. And at that time, I had the pleasure of meeting Larry and the folks over here at US Dental. They gave me an opportunity to speak in front of people. They gave me the opportunity to test out some of my idea, to develop workflow, and to put me in front of the room to refine my courses. And I would say that it would be fair to say that, without the team over here at the US Dental, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the clinical director for Spirit. I wouldn't be in a position to push digital technology forward all over the world, from Harvard, Boston University to Tokyo Medical Dental University to Meikai University in Japan and in Taiwan. So I believe that there is a purpose for everything. Yeah. So I don't believe there are any coincidences. And every step along the way, people that help us out, and I believe US Dental is one of the great partners that I have that got me where I am today. So I wish them nothing but success. They've been great partners. They offer awesome technology, and they have some of the best trainer and some of the best team in the industry, in which every single person within the US Dental company knows how to operate every single piece of machinery.
That's huge.
I don't think I've ever worked with another company with this level of confidence in the product they sell. So they're highly impressive.
And they're the reason why we met too. So thank you so much for jumping on. We definitely need to bring you back. And again, if you're thinking about 3D print, I mean, he's sold. I'm sold. I need to talk to Larry later about getting myself some 3D printers and whatnot in my practice. But thank you so much for jumping on. We'll definitely bring you back on. And we're gonna bring Larry in right now. What's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenville. I am super excited to finally get this man on a podcast. I've known him for years. I keep on telling him, it's like, Larry, you got to come on a podcast. He's like, no. I finally cornered him. We're here at the California Dental Association meeting. This is their booth. They got a lot of cool stuff here. We're going to talk about some of these cool things. But we got Larry Huynh right now for US Dental. Larry, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I am stoked to have this guy on here, because the cool thing about Larry is that whether you work with him or anyone else, he's always there to help people out. I've sent so many Nifty members to him. I don't know if they became clients, but they always said, like, this guy helped me out. That's what he's all about. So look, you're here to help us out, to talk about all these cool things back here. Now, let me ask you this. You've been involved in dentistry for a while. From the newbies, from the experts, and all those things. You helped me out, in my experience. Again, we talk about all these products, right? Once you start using it, you can never go back. I can tell you right now, if I told my wife, you got to go back to taking regular impressions, I think she would hurt me. I literally wish she would. If I took the trios away from her and say, hey, you can't use that anymore. You got to use this impression tray. I think she literally would hurt me. Let me ask you this, man. For all this technology and stuff like that, for people who are listening right now, I mean, why are you so excited about it? Why is the team at USNL so excited about just providing this digital technology to dentists?
Well, number one is because it works.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they have technology, they try to sell it. But us, we test everything.
Yeah.
We don't sell anything that we haven't tested ourselves with our key opinion leaders, with our doctors that are local to us. We go to the office, we sit clinical with them, we watch them use the product. If it doesn't work, we chuck it out and we don't carry that product. If it does work, we test it again and again until it's fully validated in a clinical office before we even talk about it. I don't care what the manufacturer has to say. They can say, Larry, this has the bells and whistles and will solve all your problems, makes you millions of dollars. I don't care about that. It's about having it in a clinician's hand, watching it, seeing how it performs, and seeing how everything comes from A to Z. And once that clinician likes it, then it validates for us. We're not clinicians, but we have a huge team of clinicians that work with us, and we're willing to open up their office to us to test every single product that you see behind us here and everything that we carry on usdentalinc.com.
Well, what really impresses me about you guys is that obviously you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to all the technology. But, I'm here at their booth and I'm just kind of chilling while my camera guy, Derek, was setting everything up. And I was listening to your team talk to people. They're just as knowledgeable there. And let me ask you this. I mean, is that something that's just really important to you guys, to not only kind of the leaders of the company, but every single person that is front facing with the doctors here to know just as much?
Oh, absolutely. So for us, we have a non-negotiable policy that all of our people must know the product, everything we sell at the highest level possible, even at the level of the manufacturing rep, right?
Wow.
Because number one, we want to be the first line of information giving to the doctor. Not to say, hey, doc, do you like this product? Let me get you a rep from that manufacturer to talk about it. The doctor don't have time to wait. So instead, we know all of the information right up front, and I make these guys study every single day. If I don't, I let them go out of the team. I let them go. I get someone else that is willing to do that because we believe that we're in such a competitive market, and competition is great, but I want to supply the doctor with a person that has every information that the doctor would need in terms of questions and having all the questions answered efficiently and on time, because timing is very important.
I mean, and that is so true. And again, if you guys follow them on social media, I mean, not only do they talk about, they have so much passion for the things that they provide for us, but you really celebrate when doctors adopt the technology. Like, dude, this guy gets like hyped up when someone like, it's like, there's a new, hey, this doctor got a new CPCT. He's got the new thing. And again, like, I love the fact that you see this as more like a partnership with the doctor. Now, with that being said, I mean, there's so many opportunities to work with Larry and his team, but let's just quickly go through some of the products that you guys carry. Now, we talked about 3D printing. We're actually going to have like an expert who actually has lectured for them to talk about the importance of 3D printing and his passion behind it. But we talk about 3D printing, but we got some intraoral scanners here. Talk about some of the products that you carry. And again, full disclosure, you guys really believe in these products too.
Absolutely.
Because if you didn't, and you wouldn't be selling it. Talk about some of the products you guys carry.
So here we have intraoral scanner. That's kind of getting your foot wet into digital dentistry. And so all the product that you see up here is something that we've tested. We had it in clinicians' hands. We milled out the crown. Everything fit perfectly. And the proximal contacts are good. Occlusion contacts are good. And the crown looks great. And so we put them on the table because we don't sell anything that does not work or is not validated, at least. So that's one. So you have your intraoral scanner. Then you have your CBCT, which I think the CBCT should be the gold standard of X-ray technology. And we sell literally CBCT, one CT a day. because the doctor really sees our passion in CBCT technology and how that's gold standard. So CBCT we sell every single day. Then you have your intraoral scanner. Then the production comes in, which is the designing part. Designing part, we use ExoCAD. We love ExoCAD. All of our guys are ExoCAD experts. And so we understand how to utilize ExoCAD from the simple restoration down to the all-in-X type restoration prosthesis. And so we have that as your design software. Then you have your 3D printers. We carry things like Sprint Ray, which is a phenomenal.
We got them all back here.
Which is all back here. Phenomenal product, very premium. And then we also have our Shining 3D, very economical. Doesn't mean that's not good. It's still very premium product when it comes out. Because once again, we validate that. Then you have your Gerbach, our milling machine. Our milling machine is probably one of the best in the industries. And once again, validated. We milled a bunch of crowns. Everything fits perfectly after the scan. With a 3 to 4 click design, you get your crown, you send it to the mill, you mill that zirconia, cooking it all under 1 hour. So it's things like that we have tested, and doctors love it. Aesthetic is great, and that's one of those products we have. I can go on with our DCI Edge dental chairs, our hand pieces from NSK, all these things. Like I said, we tested it, we love it, then we sell it. We don't just say, give me the product and sell. It doesn't work that way with US Dental.
I love that. I love that. And again, for those who are interested in learning more, I mean, obviously, Larry's big part of our community. We'll put in the show notes how to get a hold of him. But, for those who are maybe not as familiar, right? There's other companies, there's the big dealers out there that they know about. They don't know too much about US Dental. You guys are based in California. And maybe they're thinking, well, these guys are in California. I mean, I'm in New York or I'm in Texas. Can these guys take care of us? What do you say to those people who are concerned about that?
Question. So thanks to COVID, but no thanks to COVID, right? I don't mean negative, but thanks to COVID, it forced all of us to go digital and to do things through webinar at one point. And so with all of our product, when we were selling through that time, doctors are very concerned about anyone going into their office, right? So we had to do things through webinar, through Zoom. And we found a very good system to do it so efficiently that the doctor felt like it was just as good as in person, if not better.
Yeah.
Because you're not in my way, Larry. You were in a screen and you gave me every information I need. I had my scanner on the other side of the screen. They had their scanner on their side of the screen. And so it felt like there was no difference whether I was in their office or doing it remotely. And they got the same exact service either way. And so with that fully said, whether it's milling machine with AG or 3D printing with Sprint Ray, we help doctors all over the United States, and we do that remotely. It's possible. And in certain cases, we'll travel there as well. So it really depends on case by case basis.
I love that. I love that. Well, Larry, I mean, again, this has been a long time coming. We've been wanting to bring you on. We support, what you're doing. You supported us at Nifty Thrifty. So guys, the cat's out of the bag here. I've introduced him to a lot of people, but you guys know that he is a big part of the Nifty Thrifty community. And anytime you have any questions about this, and of course you're gonna hear one of their main KOLs talk as well, whether it's education or learning more about these products. He's always been there. Larry, thank you so much for jumping on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
And we'll definitely bring you back on. But guys, we will talk about the Nifty deal. There's always different Nifty deals. This guy's always hooking it up with different deals. We'll let you know what their latest deal is. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.